In this video, we're going to cover some of the factors that can drive your cost up or down and talk about realistic expectations for the price tag. Hello and welcome. My name is Dale Richards, CEO of App Creative, an app development company on the Silicon Slopes of Utah. We're on a mission to build apps that change the world. If you want to build apps, grow your SaaS business, and make money doing cool software entrepreneur-related stuff, start now by subscribing and hitting the bell. There are a few different things that can drive the total cost of your app up. First is the complexity of your app. The crazier you decide to go with your features, the higher the price will be. And while more features means more money, it doesn't necessarily mean more value for the user. Sometimes less is more. Keeping your features to a minimum will also mean paying less money and going to market sooner. Second come value-added services. When you're working with a software development company, they likely will provide services besides the actual coding, the actual development itself. So for example, design, testing or QA, operations and infrastructure, project management, and most of all, communication. When you're trying to cut costs working with an offshore team, these services and skills make a big difference. So don't discount the value your vendor is adding. The value is worth paying for. Speaking from personal experience, these will make your life a lot easier, not only during your initial development process, but later as your app moves into operations and improvement. Third, the components and integration. Here we need to look at the architecture of your app. So how many front-end clients will you need? So for example, the code running on your phone versus the one running in the web browser, those are different clients. Plus, if you decide to build using the native language of iOS and Android, then you'll have two separate clients for just mobile. Instead of just one. Or you can keep your costs down by building a single hybrid client that will run on both iOS and Android. So that's the front-end client. How about the back-end? So for back-end clients, how many back-end integrations will you need? So for example, are you going to integrate with a third party like Auth0 to manage all of the user data and passwords? Are you going to integrate with a third-party payment gateway like Authorize.net so users can make purchases in the app? And based on the answers to these questions, the cost of your app development will change. Fourth, backend services. So how complex is the logic that runs on the server? For example, we had a customer who wanted to create a translation service. And the app would not only translate the document, but also return the translated document in the same format in which it was originally submitted. The backend services that we built to support this were really, really complex. Most of that complexity was only visible beneath the surface. So with these factors in mind, there are two general ways that you can reduce the cost of app development that you can consider as well. So first is looking at geography. So where around the world are the developers located? Are they in a foreign labor market where the price of labor is different than the United States? Our developers are in Eastern Europe, and we feel like that's a good mix of value, price, quality, and communication ability. The second way to help reduce the cost is through sweat. So how much of your own free time and labor are you willing to put into the app? If you already have a set of skills, like take UX design, for example, then you won't need to hire someone else to do that part because you can do it yourself. But only do that if you're really an experienced professional. What to look for in app development quotes? Well, when you talk to different tech companies to develop your app, you'll want to know what to look for so that you don't end up paying more than you need to. Or even less for that matter. So here's some suggestions. You want to make sure that the company is doing their due diligence. Are they asking questions about your app? Are they trying to ingest your vision and really understand it? Or are they kind of just slapping you with a quote as soon as possible, as soon as they hear a little bit of information? How they react to your app and your idea will tell you a lot about the kind of company that you are engaging with. You want to work with someone who is genuinely interested in your app and can see its potential and can make sure that they understand what it is that you need before signing anything. Another plus is contracting in multiple phases or stages. This means that the overall app development process will be broken up into an initial mini project, followed by another mini project, and then another. And the outcome of the first mini project informs the price of the direction of the second mini project. And this process of going from phase to phase and informing the following phase with the outcomes from the preceding phase is called progressive elaboration. Contracting in phases will make it easier for you and the vendor to agree to fixed price bids. And that reduces the risk of unexpected cost increases. Plus, if something is going wrong, it's easier to just finish one phase rather than terminate a large contract and then leave a bloody mess behind. So going off this point that we just mentioned, you want to make sure that they can show you the roll-up of features and services into the final cost. So in other words, you want to make sure that they understand why you are being charged a certain amount. And lastly, how much of a partner will your vendor be? And are they going to take on an expanded role to suggest or advise? Or are they just going to take your order and require you to make all of the decisions? There are things that you want to look out for in the actual quotation. So here are a few red flags that you should be looking for. Receiving a high or a low quote, an early quote, tricky clauses in contracts and quotations. Your ability to notice and avoid these red flags will have a great effect on the price that you end up paying. For a more in-depth understanding, we recommend that you check out this article, Things to Watch Out For When Requesting Software Development Quotes. Here at App Creative, we believe that through apps we can make a difference, and so we say, build apps, change the world. One important part of that is being able to manage the finances in regards to app development. So now you have some ideas to help you do just that. So go build your app and help change the world. We'll see you next time.